mean, I'm serious. I'm not just saying that because Julie's listening in the background. That's her mom. She's like the really sweet woman. She seems kind of like a natural and gifted healer to me, anyways. So
yeah, she's been nurturing quite a few people over the last year or so.
yeah. So I'm gonna just update everybody what I'm talking about with Christopher here. So we went to the Paleo FX conference in Austin, Boston, whatever it is, in Austin, Texas, and we had a really great time. I met Julie and Julie's mom, Christopher's mother-in-law. We'll tell you about her in a second. She's a pretty amazing woman, actually. So here's the Paleo FX thing. I flew in Thursday. Julie, who's in the training program now, Julie Long put on a class for me in her clinic, which was wonderful, and she invited several of her medical doctor friends and PAs and some nurse practitioners, and we did a little bioidentical hormone adrenal thing, and she had snacks and everything. It was a really wonderful group of people. And then on Sunday, I hosted a breakfast and a lunch, and we met a bunch of people who were in the class, who either have taken the class recently. Letha Cole came with her. She brought a friend, another psychiatrist with her, so we had a couple of psychiatrists. Craig was there, who's in the class now, who's a chiropractor. A nurse came, who's another one of the current students, sister-in-laws. So it's just a really wonderful thing. And so it kind of happened spontaneously, and Julie set this whole thing up for us, and then I decided, why don't we just ask out, to breakfast or lunch the people that are local that I know. So it's already caught on, and after doing this in Austin quite successfully over the weekend, we've got Sherry Green, who volunteered to set up a meeting like this in New York for me. So in September, I'll be going to New York, and we'll have a meeting. Sherry's got room for 15 or so people in her office waiting room, so we're going to have a talk there right in Manhattan. And then it'll be the same format I think we're going to follow of what happened in Austin, which is I'll show up. If someone local is up for it, they can host us, and I'll do a talk for their friends and colleagues that are interested in the class. And then more importantly, the fun part is, we can have a breakfast, lunch, or dinner scheduled where we can all go out, people who are in the program already or have taken it in the past, and socialize and hang out and just chat about all things functional medicine. And it was really great, too, to be at the table with a nurse, chiropractor, a couple of medical doctors who are all involved in the program, and just being able to share thoughts and whatnot. So anyways, that would come. We're going to do that in September in New York City. I want to probably do Denver in October because there's something in Denver, and we have a group of people there. And then I kind of want to go to Chicago if we can find somewhere in Chicago to do it, because there's a lot of students that have taken the class that are in the Chicago area. And then I'll also be in Los Angeles in May. So anyways, just trying to get out and meet people who are in the class and meet people who want to take the class. And that's kind of like the theme that's coming up. And then the Paleo conference was amazing. There were a couple thousand people there. They gave me a really great speaking slot. So I was talking on Friday at 3 p.m., completely packed audience. I think there was at least 200 or 300 people in the room, maybe more, standing room only, talk about the adrenal glands. And, at the beginning of the talk, I said, who in this room has heard of adrenal fatigue before? And everybody raised their hands and started screaming. And who in this room has heard of leaky gut? Everybody raised their hands. So, have an audience in front of you of, hundreds of people, all of whom are looking for solutions for adrenal fatigue and looking for solutions for leaky gut and are trying to find a functional medicine practitioner. What better audience could you possibly get? And so these people are out there, and the Paleo community is a really great group because they all know about adrenal fatigue, and they're all looking for solutions for their leaky guts, and it's all about adrenals and gut, which is exactly what we're doing in this class. So the other really kind of fascinating and cool thing for me, and this is the first time this has ever happened to me, was there were 7 people there who were speakers and hosting the event in different ways who were, have taken this training program. And in particular, 2 of the doctors there that were speaking really kind of struck me because they both, and I kind of forgotten about this, or I don't even know I knew all the details, but they both were patients of mine or heard about me prior to going to school, and then each of them decided on a career in functional medicine based on meeting me and being a patient of mine. And they're both there. Justin was there doing a talk on pre and post workout nutrition. Michael Ruscio was there doing a talk. I think it was about thyroid or something like that. But just really wonderful to see these guys that I trained when they were still in school and I knew before they even started school now have these really successful careers doing public speaking, getting out there and being kind of the next generation of people that are going to take over the work here in functional medicine. So anyways, it's a really rewarding time right now, I think, in general for all of us because this is such a hot topic. There are hundreds of thousands of people in the paleo community that are desperately looking for people that do adrenal and GI programs. So you just need to start to connect with the paleo groups in your community and start to reach out because it's a really, they're all doing a really great diet, gluten plus more, gluten-free plus, you know, and they're really a motivated group of people to work with. So anyways, that was my experience over the weekend, and it kind of was a really reassuring for me to see what a great group of people are assembled at these different kinds of meetings. So they're going to have another Paleo FX in October in Denver, I believe, and then there'll be the repeat yearly one in Austin next spring. If any of you guys are interested in going, you might want to check it out. All right, so let's take a look at labs. And oh, and then Christopher, so this woman comes up to me and she's like, hi, and she's the most cheerful, wonderful, attractive, happening-looking woman, and she's like, I'm Christopher's mother-in-law. And then she starts to tell me, Christopher, this whole story about this kid that she had been working with that was going to Stanford, the hospitals at Stanford, right, who had some, I forget what, horrible GI problem or had some intractable pain problem, like a 10 or 12-year-old child. And she was just amazed because she put the kid on the proper diet, and a month later the kid's like pain-free and doing great. I'm sure she has a lot of stories like that, but that was pretty inspiring.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story. I got a really nice testimonial to put on our website from the mother of the child. He's doing really well.
Okay.
I thought he did. He hasn't actually. He's interested in doing some, or the mother's interested in doing some GI testing on him, but really that's all she did for him was just to fix his diet, and you know, all the scientists at Stanford couldn't figure it out. All they suggested was a low FODMAP diet. That was all they could do for him.
Yeah, there's so much room in this world for what we're doing right now, so much interest. So anyways, let's take a look. You have a toxic